For Nate Eaton.
Robbins Center. Yeah, Amy, people are beginning to gather here at the University of Richmond Robbins Center. You can see a lot of them reading, doing their homework, eating breakfast. The line has definitely gotten longer since we last came over here. You're looking at the end of the line. If we pan around here, you can see all these folks waiting to see President Obama. Many have been here early this morning. Of course, the doors don't open until 8:30. Some coming as early as 4 a.m., 3 a.m. They want to get inside to see the president. Now, let me show you some pictures from inside of the arena. You can see the podium is set up right in the middle of the floor. That's where President Obama will speak. A big American flag in there. Right now, all of the seats are empty, but it's expected that the nearly 9,000 seats inside the Robbins Center should be filled today. Of course, yesterday, people lined up for hours to get their ticket to see the president. All of those tickets are gone, so if you do not have one, you cannot get in. Buses will be bringing
Eaton right now. He is also inside right now. Nate, you had seen some of those protesters a little earlier today. Can you tell us a little bit about that protest that you saw this morning?
It has been an interesting day here at the University of Richmond. There were some protesters out earlier this morning talking about President Obama and his views on drilling for oil off the coast. There were about 20 or so protesters that held up big signs saying that they didn't appreciate the president's views on oil and they hope that he changes his mind. They say they don't necessarily disagree with the president, but they disagree with this issue. Kim's been talking a lot about the crowds that are here. You can see they are just anxiously awaiting the president's arrival. We do know that the White House press corps just showed up and took their seats. That means the president can't be far behind. It's expected that any minute he should pull up here and address the crowd. So people are still filing in, filling up the floor here, the standing room only floor, and then filling in the seats around the arena as well. We have about, it's near capacity actually. A lot of seats at the top still open, but other than that, it looks like it's pretty full. So we'll continue to monitor it. Back to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, Amy, thousands of people pouring out of the Robbins Center right now. You can see them all behind me. A lot of them have smiles on their faces. They obviously, visually looking at them, approve of the president's speech. You can hear some cheering right there. Hey, what'd you think of the speech?
I thought it was awesome. It was excellent. It was really, really deep, heartfelt. It was amazing.
Describe the mood in there, the feeling.
Everybody was so excited. You could tell he was really happy to be in Richmond. We just all loved it.
All right, thank you very much. Yeah, that seems to be the general feeling. As people walk down here, Howie, if we can pan, there's a few protesters. We'll move this tripod out of the way. It looks like they're from the Tea Party. Don't tread on me, Obama, you're fired. You have a few of them down there. But the overwhelming crowd here, the overwhelming majority, is those coming out of the Robbins Stadium right here, the Robbins Center. The speech went for about 30 minutes. These people, some of them were here as early as midnight, 1 a.m., waited several hours to get inside. Many were able to stand down on the floor right in front of the stage where the president gave his address. Others were seated fairly close in there. We were able to catch up with one person who got a VIP ticket. He was down there right in front. His hope was to shake President Obama's hand. Again, the president has left the arena right now. He's on his way to the airport, and we will stay here and continue the coverage. For now, back to you.
All right, thank you for that, Nate. Of course, a lot of people there you just saw. I'm very excited in the crowd. I even saw a couple of fist pumps out there, so that's definitely a sign that everybody really is, at least the people that we saw, liked what they saw. Of course.
You know, walking around the yard of this home here, we've seen some amazing things just within the past 5 minutes. I want to show you how powerful this storm was. Look right here. This is where a tree was standing just an hour or two ago. Roots ripped up. The tree is now over here. The tornado picked that tree up out of the ground and threw it a good 15 to 20 feet. There's pieces of the home spread all throughout here. There's skid marks on the ground. It's pretty amazing. Now, I was just speaking with one of the fire officials. They think the tornado moved this way, that it somehow hit the home, took out this tree, and then kept barreling through the yard. If we walk over here along this back fence, there's several pieces of the roof and the house tangled up throughout that fence. But if you look at the pool house, it didn't touch it. The pool cover, completely normal. It looks as if nothing happened. The pool furniture around the pool looks fine. Everywhere else, though, it's a different scene. So the tornado may have been moving this way, or it could have somehow gone this way towards Louisa County. As of now, they're trying to figure it all out. I mentioned earlier that the home was vacant at the time that this tornado touched down. We just spoke with a few kids who said that they own the farm, and ever since they bought the property, ever since their family bought the property, no one has actually stayed in the home. But the home has been in Louisa for quite a while, several decades. It looks a little older. No idea on if anybody was living inside. The good news, though, is that nobody was injured, but quite a bit of cleanup will happen here tonight. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you very much, Nate. Really just unexpected. How crazy to be in Louisa these past. All right, welcome back. It has been a wild, woolly day in Louisa County. Severe weather has ripped through the area this afternoon.
That's right. Our 8 News reporter Nate Eaton is there. He has more on the damage that's happened and the very latest for us. Nate.
Yeah, Juan and Christina, the home here off of Route 15 in Louisa definitely took a hit. We're on the 6,000 block. You can see behind me the entire roof looks like it has just been peeled away and thrown and scattered throughout the yard. If we close up, you can see once where the chimney stood, brick has been thrown off, and now it's just a wooden frame. The fortunate news, if there is any in all of this, is that nobody was home at the time and nobody was actually living in the home. It was just an old house that a family had inherited here on the farm, or that a family owned here, and they were not here at the time. The owners right now are walking around the property surveying the damage. If you look, the roof, half of it right there, right in front of the front door, and then the rest of it just thrown into trees, onto the ground, across the yard, and into a couple of fences. It's amazing to look around and see the damage, what survived, you know, what is still intact and what isn't. In the middle of all of this debris, you've got a light bulb, completely intact. Looks like it might still work. Nothing shattered. It somehow survived all of this. Meanwhile, you have boards that are ripped in half, nails still on there that have been damaged. So definitely a lot of cleanup happening here. This all happened around 3 o'clock. We're told that some local elementary school students were getting ready to board a bus to go home when the tornado touched down, or the tornado warning was issued. They immediately put those students into a safe area, waited until the tornado passed. They then were able to board the buses and get on their way home. Right now, people are surveying the damage. You have a couple of sheriff deputies, a lot of media here from all over the area surveying this. It really was a powerful storm. Of course, our weather team is following just the logistics of what happened here with the storm and how powerful they were. We, of course, are here on the scene and will continue to bring you updates, but definitely a day to remember. Jason, let's go inside to you. Can you give us an update on this storm?
Yeah, these storms have been just developing really quickly, and that's what happened.
Jason. Breaking news now from Louisa County, where apparently a tornado touched down today. It was spotted by a law enforcement officer. 8 News reporter Nate Eaton is at the scene live with the very latest for us. Nate, this happened. 8 News reporter Nate Eaton is live at the scene with the latest for us. Nate.
Damaged in today's tornado. Let me give you a recap of what happened. Shortly before 3 o'clock, this tornado touches down here in Louisa County, or so we are told by some of the officials working here. It works its way through a large farm, touches down on this house, or at least causes serious damage on this house, rips the roof off. The roof then spreads and blows all over the yard, all over the farm. Some of it comes resting into trees. Trees are uprooted. Fences are destroyed. Amazingly, nobody is hurt in any of this. Now, I was just talking with the owner of this home. He tells me that one of the chimneys here was actually damaged in the earthquake a couple of weeks ago. So one chimney already collapsed in the earthquake. Now, the other one isn't looking much better. Just a wood frame standing up there when normally it would be covered with bricks, or at least surrounded by bricks. I want to show you the impact of this storm. If we look down here, the wood, a lot of it blew off and is just stabbing into the ground. It's in there pretty deep. Grass on it, things like that. Also, I showed you this earlier, but this light bulb in the middle of the storm, still intact. Nothing broken. Looks like it could go right back into a light socket, no problem. Whereas everything else, except that I just broke it when I dropped it, but it didn't break in the storm. Nothing else broken here, just a lot of wood littered across the lawn. trees uprooted. Just the damage is unbelievable. So now the owners of this home are...
They last saw him, and the parents are fully cooperating.
Our team coverage on Robbie begins tonight with a prayer vigil held this evening in his honor. 8 News reporter Nate Eaton is live tonight with details for us. Nate?
Yeah, Juan, it has been 2.5 days since Robbie was last seen. This is the third night that he is alone inside of the park. A long 2.5 days for his family and friends. Many of them gathered tonight, over 100 at a vigil. They are praying for a miracle. A community?
We thank you for gathering here tonight to pray for a desperate situation.
Comes together.
I wanted to be doing something to help.
One by one.
We know that you are watching over him.
They pray.
Please hand him back to his mother and his father, for their hearts are breaking.
And thank you for all the people who are here praying for him.
They sing.
What grace that taught my heart to sing.
They hope.
We intercede for Robbie.
We intercede for
I have a child with autism who's 8 and nonverbal.
Lord, bring him home safe.
Lord, bring him home.
Bless everyone here, because if my son were missing, I would want these same people looking for him.
We praise you. And we love you.
He's out there in the woods all by himself, and I'm 10, so he's almost my age, and I feel really bad for him.
It'd be wonderful to get some good news tonight.
And we claim it in the name of Jesus Christ.
I won't sleep or eat until they find him, because he's my son too.
Amen.
Amen.
And organizers say they may hold a vigil every night until Robbie is found. They're not quite sure on those plans, but tonight's was so successful, they may hold another one tomorrow. Meanwhile, the search continues tomorrow. Caitlin.
Meanwhile, a community comes together to celebrate Robert's return. Nate Eaton just attended that event. A lot of happy tears.
Absolutely, Darren. This is a day that some people thought would never come. An exciting day for many. These posters that have been blanketing the area over the past few days are needed no more. As we know, Robert Wood has been found. Tonight at a celebration, the mood was very different compared to the past few nights at different vigils.
We're here to celebrate Robert's return.
Smiles, cheers, and prayers of gratitude.
Tonight I come to you to say thank you for letting us find, or letting him be found.
For the fourth night in a row, a community comes together, but tonight is a celebration.
He wrapped his arms around that baby, and he kept him safe until we could find him.
Teresa Harrelson searched for Robert every day with a picture of him pinned to her shirt.
We were going out this morning, and we said, Lord, just let us find him, just let us find him.
Many in this group never lost hope.
Dispatch your angels, Lord God, to keep Robbie warm.
They remained faithful.
And I just ask, Lord God, that you use this situation, Lord God, to bring people together, Lord God, on one accord. And let us, Lord, love each other as you love us.
And tonight, this song took on new meaning.
We believe that you worked a miracle this week.
And at last night's vigil, there was a big poster board for people to sign that was going to be delivered to Robert's parents. Tonight, there was another poster board that folks wanted people to sign that they also plan to deliver to his parents. Meanwhile, the firefighters here at Hanover Fire Station 4 say they are looking forward to getting things back to normal. They have been very generous hosts to the media and everybody else as this search has continued. Carrie O'Brien was one of the first reporters on the scene moments after Robert was found. She was there on location, and she has more.
Over to 8 News reporter Nate Eaton, who's checking on social media on this breaking story this afternoon. Nate?
Yeah, well, and this is such a big story. Everybody talking about it all over Facebook, even though the reports so far are unconfirmed. It looks like we have several volunteers who are in the area saying, my husband's there. He just told me that Robert has been found alive. Another person, thank you, God, for answering prayers for Robert. Thank you, everyone, for helping in any way with the search and the many who offered up prayers. I have been up there all week. I asked Captain Trice a few days ago, what will happen when Robert is found? He says generally the protocol will be once he's found, EMS and fire personnel will be notified. They will immediately give Robert medical attention. He will then be treated. Then they have to contact all of his family and let them know that Robert has been found. Then they have to call in all of the searchers. That's where the challenge could be. You have 1,000 people out there searching for this little boy. As of now, they have to contact all of those people, let them know that they no longer need to search, and bring them all back in. Then the media will be notified. So it could be a little while before everything is confirmed. But as Juan and Christina have been saying, it looks like this is definitely something that is happening up there. More comments that we want to hear from you also on Facebook. If you're up there in the area, if you're seeing any sort of commotion, if you have heard anything from searchers, please go put it on our Facebook page. We would love to get your comments. People saying that they've been praying all week, that they never gave up hope. People saying, thank goodness, this is amazing. One woman, he is alive, with 4 exclamation marks. Definitely, I'm surprised. I'm sure most people watching are surprised as we go on almost a week of him being missing to hear this good news. We will, as I mentioned, we'll read your Facebook comments. We will continue to have them here on the air for you as our continuing coverage goes on. Juana, Christina?
All right, thank you very much, Nate. It's just spreading by social media, spreading like wildfire. Facebook, Twitter. We want to go to Nate Eaton now. He is keeping tabs on what's being posted online. What do you have for us, Nate?
Yeah, a lot of comments, Christina. You know, in our newsroom, we first heard about this through a text message. One of our employees got a text from a friend who said, we're hearing Robert Wood may have been found alive. We instantly started to try to confirm that news. And then all over our Facebook wall, people saying, we're hearing that he's alive. And it's turned from we're hearing that he's alive to it's confirmed he's alive, and now a lot of people offering prayers of gratitude, saying they really can't believe it. And made my day. You know, every single night a vigil has been held up in Hanover County, or actually Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 3 nights in a row a vigil was held. You can see video of it here. The first night, over 100 people. The second night, less than 100. Last night, a lot smaller of a group. And many people saying, you know, as days go by, you kind of lose faith, you kind of lose hope that he is alive, but obviously that is not the case here. I was up there earlier this week, and I can tell you that the North Anna Battlefield Park, there's a road that separates it from the quarry. Now, I'm not sure if that quarry goes around into the park on the other side, but you have the park on one side of the road, the quarry on the other. No idea if Robert crossed that road, how he got over into the quarry, but you can see a map right here. I don't know how detailed that is right there. The helicopter, I believe, is where he was found earlier today. So you can see the park on one side of your screen, and then on the other is the quarry. So it looks like he would have had to cross Verdon Road right there. Researchers all week have been leaving out blankets and glow sticks and teddy bears and food and water in case Robert stumbles upon any of those supplies. In fact, one woman suggested that buses, school buses, park all over the park or on the side of the park on the roads and leave their lights on so that if he were to see a school bus, he could go and get on the bus. That obviously didn't happen, but she was saying that that's one thing that could have happened as they helped to find Robert. We want to hear your comments too. A lot of people, I'm sure, are talking about this. The praising continues on there, and we are happy, very, very happy to report that Robert Wood once again has been found alive. As far as what happens now, we know he's on the way to the hospital. We don't know his condition. We don't know if he is dehydrated. One would think after a few days he would be. Also, no word on if we will hear from the family, who has been actively involved in this search. We're told that every day they have been out there searching, trying to find their son and their relative. We were told that the grandmother refused to leave the park. Sheriff deputies told her, go home, rest. She would not leave. She sat there, and they greeted volunteers every day as they showed up to search. So definitely some good news to report after several days of some stressful and hopeful things happening. Juana, Christina?
Remarkable. Absolutely. Thank you. Nate, answer at 3:30 when we hear the press conference. We may never know. But I'll tell you, so much of this information is coming out on social media just by the second. We want to go now to Nate Eaton. He is keeping tabs on it for us. Nate?
Yeah, Christina, minute by minute, second by second, actually, people are posting their comments on our Facebook page. Juan mentioned texting a few minutes ago who didn't pick up their phone and text everybody who knows about this story saying he's been found alive. It'd be interesting if we could somehow get a count of how many texts were sent out about about this story. We have one interesting comment. Thank goodness he is alive, only 1 mile from my home. What a strong little boy. Another person, this little boy is just amazing. I am so happy. Words cannot express how overwhelmed I feel, and I don't even know him. Congrats to all who were involved in this long search. May God bless him and his family. This story kind of brought together a lot of people who have children with autism. At the vigils over the past few nights, many have brought their children and said, I feel for Robert's parents. I feel for them. My child has run away and we've lost them for an hour or two. And they went out on the search themselves trying to bring Robert back home. Also, people of all faiths from all over Central Virginia were attending these vigils every night. Last night they made a big long postcard they wanted everybody to sign that they were going to give to Robert's parents, letting them know that they are hopeful. We haven't heard if there will be a vigil tonight, a celebration vigil. I would imagine there would be one, though. They said they were going to hold one every night until he was found. You know, I did some research just a minute ago on this quarry where he was. It's an 1,100-acre plant. And earlier in this week, the quarry had their workers go out and search. There was no sign of Robert at that time. Now, we don't know if they were able to search every single mile at this quarry, but from what they found at that point, they didn't find anything associated with Robbie. We have also been told that dogs were able to pick up Robbie's scent to the North Anna River. Many people speculated that he went into that river. As the dogs lost the scent there wasn't very many other places he could go. We also knew that Robert liked to go into water, and I spoke with his former stepfather who said whenever he would see water, he would like to take off his clothes as if he were going to go swimming or take a bath. So there were some speculation that he was in the river. Volunteers and professional searchers every day this week going up and down that river with sticks, prodding it into the ground. We know that Dominion helped lower the water levels on those rivers in order to maybe see Robert there in the water. Of course, that's not the case. We don't know if he ever did go into that water. We don't know if he steered clear of it. We do know that he was found in this quarry right across the street from the North Anna Battlefield Park where he disappeared last Sunday. If you have a comment, please put it on Facebook. We'd be happy to read them to you. We are also asking if you were involved in the search in any way or you have a child who has autism, please go leave your comments, your thoughts. We'd love to hear from you on this very joyful afternoon. Juan and Christina?
Our social media, and we are keeping tabs on it for you. Let's go to Nate Eaton. He is monitoring it for us. Nate?
Yeah, Christina, we are instantly receiving information from anybody, from you out there watching. You're one of our best sources to get this news. We just received a message from Olivia. She said, there will be a praise meeting at the old Doswell School tonight. Please announce, bring candles and your leftover glow sticks. We are in the area, too happy for words, and we will finally be able to sleep tonight. Look at that comment above her. Dawn says, I had my warm clothes, water, and snacks. Planned on coming to help in the morning, in the a.m. I'm so glad I won't have to. Happy, happy days, great news. Kudos to all involved. Obviously, people expressing the very same sentiment on all of those. One mentioned a woman who left a comment saying that she heard from one of the Hanover officials up there that they gave Robert a blanket, some water, and that he was taken to VCU Medical Center, where we, of course, have a reporter awaiting there to see what his condition is on there. We also had a woman who has a child with autism. She wrote that I have a 9-year-old. He has autism. I am so grateful Robert has been found. We've heard from several parents who have children that have autism over the week saying that their children are resistant. They can put up with anything, and I'm sure many of them aren't surprised that Robert was found today. Again, if you're going to be up in the area, this says that there will be a celebration meeting or a praise meeting at the old Doswell School tonight. In the past, they've started at 7:30. I don't know if that will be bumped up a little earlier tonight, but you can see some of the other comments. Austin Farmer, glad he was found alive. He is one lucky little boy. That's definitely the truth right there. And other people saying, praising God that Robert is found alive, and thank you to all the volunteers who helped to find him. We're waiting. We're just minutes away from a press conference from the officials up there in Hanover County, but we'll go right now to Juan and Christina.
All right, just really going through social media. We've been keeping tabs on it, and Nate Eaton has been monitoring things on live. Nate, we want to head back to you now.
Yeah, Christina, a few minutes moments ago, I asked you out there, what was your first reaction when you heard Robert was found alive? Instantly, people responding. We can go through a few of these. Very surprised but thankful. Thank God. Miracle. Words can't describe how happy and relieved I was. Such a strong little boy. And then Michelle Taylor says, very happy indeed. Saw him being brought in by helicopter from my work window. Nancy Matthews, I was amazed that this young boy was alive. Wonderful news for the end of the week. And Kat Schaefer says, I got teary-eyed, of course. This is amazing. What a little trooper he is. A lot of people saying they cried, relief, tears of joy. Claire says, I got chills everywhere and started to cry. If only everyone could always band together and pray this hard for the world, the world would be such a different place. Very overwhelmed, wanted to cry, but was so excited to hear that he was alive and well. Shock, then joy. A lot of people, wow, I went running, screaming to my family he was found alive. We helped search for him 2 days, and this is just a wonderful ending and proves what a community can do. We want to hear your responses when you heard this wonderful news this afternoon. People saying, Jessica here says she has a Facebook page full of prayers and hope, and she has a link there to go to that. Also, parents of children with autism are leaving many wonderful comments on our 8 News Facebook page. I met and spoke with a few of them the other night, and these are parents who are resilient, they are strong, and they say they have never given up hope. If we go down here, I just had it up here, but I can tell you that people are posting so quick that they get buried down in our page, which is great. But Elizabeth, we'll read hers. I was not able to volunteer. However, I have been sending many prayers and good thoughts to the volunteers and family. I have worked with autistic children, and they are very resilient. Robert certainly has demonstrated that by surviving this long in the elements. One of the interesting things is that children, we've learned over this week, that children with autism, many of them have a fascination with water. They are drawn to water, and that was one of the worries as Robert was inside the North Anna Battlefield Park. The North Anna River is in there, and dogs were able to track his scent up until the edge of that river. And there was some worry that he may have gotten into the water. His former stepfather says that Robert loved water. He was drawn to it, and that he would often take off his clothes and try to swim or expect a bath when he would see water. And so a lot of people thought that he may have gone into that water and that there would be a grim discovery. But obviously, that's not the case. We, of course, are waiting a news conference any minute now from the officials up there. We're sure they're gathering their thoughts and getting ready to officially announce the good news. We will have that here in a minute. Juana, Christina?
And speaking of good news, thank you, Nate. Carrie O'Brien is...
As soon as that information is released, though, we'll bring it to you because we know that everybody at home and around the metro area today is just really, really excited to learn everything they can about this wonderful news today.
So at this point, we don't know his condition. That's very important information, and we're working to get that for you. We want to go back to Nate Eaton. He has another picture to show us.
Yeah, Christina, we just got this in seconds ago from Kim Schumacher. She's up there at the fire station where this press conference is about to begin. You can see the authorities getting ready, gathering themselves, and they are about to approach the podium. It looks like we have a representative from Hanover County Sheriffs. We have Virginia State Police. We have a member of the National Guard up there. The National Guard has been stationed at that fire station since Monday. They've actually set up huge tents right behind the fire station, and they have been helping run the search operation. They have been volunteering with food and other sort of details that you would need during this sort of ordeal. Interesting comment here on Facebook that I liked. One woman says she was in Target when she heard the news. Everyone in Target was swarming, telling everyone around. Everyone was so overjoyed and so happy. I'm sure Target's happy to hear that. Many people talking about this all over the place. People saying the power of prayer and the hearts of mankind made an amazing pair. One woman, Shanna, says, I cried. We're driving to North Carolina. I've been following the story on Facebook, as have many of you. My husband and I are both firefighter medics, so our thoughts and prayers have been both with Robbie and his family as well as those searching. I've been tucking my kids in tighter every single night. This is great news that we will continue to follow as we anticipate words from the Hanover County Sheriff's Office. I know Mike Trice, the captain up there, says that he's had maybe 3 or 4 hours of sleep every single night. And those crews, I'm sure, were getting to the point where they were exhausted, but they kept going. And the optimism in all of this, my goodness, it's been incredible. People have remained incredibly optimistic. They have had a large number of searchers turn out every day. Christina, one?
All right, that was definitely a challenge, but the good news is to report that he has been found safe.
Really just a remarkable story. Easily the story of the year, hands down, so far. Let's go back to 8 News reporter Nate Eaton, who's standing by with some social media updates for us.
Yeah, well, and before I get to those, we have just received a statement from Governor Bob McDonnell on the rescue of Robert Wood Jr. I want to read part of it. He says, "Today, the best possible result to a very difficult situation came to pass when Robert Wood Jr. was found alive in Hanover County. Thousands of volunteers and public safety personnel scoured the area since Robert's disappearance 5 days ago. As a father of 5, I can only imagine the fear, uncertainty, and sadness that Robert's family endured during this difficult time." He goes on to thank everybody who participated in the search. He says the actions of so many this week have demonstrated yet again that Virginians are good neighbors who care about each other and help those in need in times of trouble. We do want to let you know that tonight there will be a celebration, not a candlelight vigil that has happened over the past few days praying for Robert's return, but a celebration. It's going to be at 7:30 at the Doswell High School. We have just received that word that it starts at 7:30. You are asked to bring candles and any glow sticks that have been used over the past few nights. Any that you have left over, bring those to the school, as they would like everybody to be there and to participate. Several people commenting on the press conference that just took place. A lot of people surprised that Robert was found in an area that had been previously searched earlier this week. The sheriff said that a searcher, a citizen searcher, not a volunteer though, found him today lying down on a bank, and they were able to see him there. Now, this is exclusive video we got just seconds after Robert was found. We understand he was placed into that helicopter and he was airlifted to VCU Medical Center, where he is right now with his family. The sheriff said that he was reunited with his family there at the hospital, that he was able to, according to Kim Schumacher, kiss his mother on the forehead. And that's when they knew it would be okay to release officially, publicly, that Robert had been found safe and sound. Good news here, and we want to hear what you think about this. Meanwhile, I mentioned that Robert was taken to VCU Medical Center. That's where Mark Tenya is standing by. Mark, what do you have for us?
We have 8 News reporter Mark Tenya, who is at that conference, so we'll get you the information, although we are having audio problems. Now we want to go over to 8 News reporter Nate Eaton. He is following things online for us on Facebook and also on our website. Nate?
Christina, since the news first broke, a lot of people sounding off online on Facebook and different other social media outlets saying how relieved and grateful they are that Robert has been found. I specifically asked for people who had volunteered to leave their comments for this newscast. You can see a lot of them went out and helped search for Robert. Their first reaction, Malia says, "A wave of emotions no words could explain. Relief has been lifted off the entire state of Virginia." Jennifer writes, "I cried. Have an autistic son that has autism, and I was relieved too. It hit way too close to home for me." And Aaron says, "Shocked. I searched Wednesday and couldn't imagine that he'd even still be alive. I remember asking one of the professionals on our team if the family was holding out hope to find him alive. He quickly said, 'We all are,' as was a lot of Central Virginia." Now, Governor Bob McDonnell issued a statement today. He says, part of it, "As a father of 5, I can only imagine the fear, uncertainty, and sadness that Robert's family endured during a difficult time. The actions of so many this week have demonstrated yet again that Virginians are good neighbors who care about each other and help those in need in times of trouble. We are all thankful that Robert will be safely reunited with his family." A lot of Virginians feeling that same way tonight. Juan and Christina?
All right, thank you so much for that, Nate.
Saturday, pretty much rain through at least midday into the afternoon. It was 47. Sunday, a lot nicer, sunny and 55 degrees. Nate?
All right, John, thank you very much. You know, we've been getting photos and messages from people who have helped along the search this entire week. One of the best photos we got today was sent to us via Twitter. You can see the picture right here. This is a bus full of searchers that were on their way back to headquarters when they learned that Robbie was found. You can see a thumbs up there from a guy in the back and a lot of other cheers and happy faces, something that the searchers haven't had much of this week as they have diligently worked to find little Robert. Also, we are receiving comments from some of those searchers on our Facebook page. You can see Noah writes, "I always thought all along he would be west of the park, just closer to the river. I am glad no one gave up until he was found, and this truly is a blessing." A lot of people thought he would be near that river, as that is where he was last seen, but obviously he was pretty far from it. Juan and Christina?
All right, thank you very much, Nate. Let's take you back to the scene near where Robert was found. Some live pictures from Hanover County.
Actually, we're going to take a look at where the...
Back to you.
Thank you very much, Carrie. A lot of people talking today all over the country about this. We'll have some comments in a moment, but this is a photo that was just sent to us. We're told that right inside of this fence is where Robert was found. You can see a sheriff's deputy's vehicle is parked here, and that is where we are told he is found. Now, Autism Speaks in New York has just sent out a tweet. Robert Wood Jr. found alive, thanks to all of the volunteers, and our thoughts are with the Wood family. They have been tweeting all week about this case, about this story, encouraging people to volunteer in the search for Robert. Also, a lot of other people sounding off on Twitter and Facebook. We will continue to read your comments throughout this newscast. For now, we'll head over to John.
All right, let's...
Of course, our Facebook page is flooded with comments about the discovery of Robert this afternoon. Here's an interesting one. Linda says her daughter and her came out today, and they were in the search group with Robert's family. She says, what an amazing moment when they got the news. We were all crying tears of joy and relief. There was never a doubt in anyone's mind that he would be found today. We were all ready to go the distance, no matter what it took. We were with an awesome group of people. Oh, happy day. A lot of others saying that they went out other days this week to say that they wanted to volunteer, and they were so grateful and relieved when they heard the news that Robert was found safe and sound. Now tonight, a celebration will be held for that. It's going to be at 7:30 at the Doswell Community Center. That's on Washington Highway, the same place that they have held those celebrations during the other nights this week. We will be right back. Well, the entire community has been involved in this story over the past week. A lot of people now taking to Facebook and Twitter, also texting and calling everyone they know to let them know the news that Robert Wood has been found. Here on Twitter, just doing a simple search for the name Robert Wood, multiple pages of comments come up. You can see one woman writes, Robert Wood Jr. found alive in Hanover. So relieved this child was found. Another, congrats to thousands of volunteers and workers. After 6 days, Robert Wood Jr. found alive. Also, Tim Kaine has sent out a tweet, as has George Allen. The governor has released a statement, and Eric Cantor has also released a statement. A lot of people very interested in this story. Juan?
All right.
Facebook page has exploded with reaction to the news. Also, the Hanover County Sheriff's Facebook page. I just clicked on there. It is loaded with comments, people thanking them for the search. One comment I found interesting right here from John. I searched all day on Tuesday in Group 1, Bus 1. I cried at the end of the day and gave my silver chain and cross to Robbie's dad. I did not have any words for him. I lost hope. But you folks in the Hanover Sheriff's Department never lost hope. You said that the search would continue until the boy was found. I salute all the men and women who organized the volunteers and the volunteers themselves. A lot of people feeling that same sentiment, and we want to let you know about a vigil tonight, a candlelight celebration. Actually, not a vigil, it's a celebration now. It's planned for tonight at 7:30 at the Doswell Community Center. That's on Washington Highway south of Verdon Road. Everyone is invited.
All right. Thank you very much.